Welcome back, guys. Sorry, no upload on the 5th, I think it was. Yeah, the 5th Monday. That was Labor Day here in Canada, and a lot of countries tend to have that first Monday of September off. So no upload then. Anyway, so now we're roughly 2 and a bit weeks away from going to the Philippines. And I say we. Let me get into that on the we side of things. Hey guys, if you're liking it, smash that subscribe button. Really appreciate it. Okay, so we getting ready to go to the Philippines. Yeah, Lynn is ready. Like normally, I would say no, she's not ready. But in this particular case with this year, yeah. I got to shout out a lot of kudos for Lynn. She is really, really embracing this whole thing of building her first house. And I know that feeling. I built a house. Lynn and I built a tiny home here in Canada, but that was all contracted out. And if you've seen some of my previous videos, I'm going to link a couple of them at the end. Lynn turned into sort of the ultimate foreman / general contractor. Boy, did she ever jump into that fast. Wow, that was an amazing role. And I still shout out kudos to her because I was having translation issues and all of that sort of thing. And in all of that, she held her cool the whole time. She put me in my place when I needed to be, trust me. And she was doing the same to the workers too. So all the more reason to give her kudos. But I'm getting ready. Oh boy, I could have gone yesterday. I am so eager to get back there. If you've seen some of my Billick buy-in box things when we started here in Canada about 5 months ago, I want to get the tools there so we can do this job properly. Came up with some ideas on how to deal with the lentils going over top of the windows and the doors. I think we've got a couple of really good options now. And so we're kind of set, and I really want to get at some of that stuff. The plan has come together. We've shifted the design a little bit. The house is actually going to be 8 square meters smaller. Sounds like a lot, but really the proportions are just getting rid of, dead space. And what it was trying to maximize the AAC sizing going across. And we'll do the interlock method going across, of course, just like cinder block would do, and what they do with hollow block. But with AAC, they're very expensive. So we just decided that we would go, 60, 60, 60 all the way across, and then added maybe a 30 at the end, and then work our way back. And as it worked out, a 420 centimeter wall works out really well. 4.2 meters. So 4.2, 4.2, 4.2, and this is all between the various pillars that are there. So we end up with just a hair under 600 square meters, or 600 square feet, 60 square meters, with a 20 square meter deck covered where the dirty kitchen will be, as well as a front ocean view deck that's only going to be 2 meters by 8.8 meters. And we will add a shade wall for part of that deck, so that, because that's direct south on that side, that will shade that deck until quite late in the day, which is going to be kind of nice. Get a lot of being able to sit out there in the morning without being in the direct sun, and then in the evening we can use that 20 by 20 deck. So I'm anxious to get at it. As you know, we've built the garage, we've fenced off the property crudely just for the build, and we've preloaded where the house is going to sit. We actually got a whole reprop done. The garage was 95% complete, which we will live in the garage when we get back. And again, just to reiterate that the garage is always meant to be ultimately a a guest suite. Okay. Now in our house, what we have is a 1-bedroom, firm 1-bedroom, and then and then we have a TV room with no door on it that I guess somewhere somebody could put up a curtain or slam in a door and there would be another room there, but we're just calling that the media or TV room. So suffice to say, we're eager to get back at it. Our crew has already contacted us. We've talked to them about a few things. There's some applications where I want to use Hardy Flex paneling rather than AAC block. One of the walls, just a little kick-out wall that goes beside the fridge, we want to put the electrical panel there, and I would just prefer to have that wall as a hollow wall, more like a Canadian style stud and drywall situation. That way we can go to the attic with our electrical, and we can go to under the slab quite quickly with the electrical. So that's kind of the goal there. Unless they can come up with another solution, that's what I would prefer to do. And it looks like we're going to need about 1,000 AAC blocks. That will give us buffer for whatever we might need. I'd already built in the 10% contingency. And again, going back and managing the blocks, that got rid of a huge amount of waste. So yeah, that's going to be our goal. I did find the Canadian code on using AAC block. Now, in their case, it's talking about using AAC between steel beams, but the same thing, they go into how the AAC is not tied to the beams, not at all, okay? They're loosely tied, but not structurally tied in. And I have to kind of drive this home for those of you who might want to build there and such. The only structural component to the whole building are the pillars, obviously the foundation. Those are the structural parts. If you're going to do 2 stories, then you're going to have beams and another slab. So that gets into a whole other thing. But what goes in between those pillars, that's all just fill. It's not structural at all. And it's why they slam so much steel into it with those hollow blocks, because that's how brittle those hollow blocks are. If you didn't put the steel in it, it would fall over. And then I guess one final note is the AAC block. Lynn and I ran the numbers as soon as we got back to Canada. And yes, just like a lot of the Philippine engineers and contractors have mentioned, it came in at roughly 20% cheaper overall to do AAC block. And the main reason was there's no finishing layers to go over the block. You're just immediately going to putty. And so there isn't that constant going back. And as Lynn mentioned in one of our videos, if it rains, that's a stall day, because if the plaster layers haven't dried enough, then they can't continue on, right? So with AAC, that meant that our garage was up in literally 3 days as far as all that wall material goes. That would never have happened. As a matter of fact, the opening for the garage itself, which meant there was an 8x7 opening in there, that took 3 days, because they did fill it with hollow block because we didn't have any AAC at the time, which is okay, because we're going to knock out some of that hollow block and put in a steel door now. Yeah, I think the upside to us having a small little project like that was that now we were able to come back to Canada, take a deep breath, and have the ability to kind of regroup a little bit between the two of us and understand a little bit more what our goals are instead of shotgun. Because honestly, we thought we would get a roof, pillars, maybe a slab in, and that's all that was going to happen. We got the reprop done. We got the garage 95% up. It's more than livable to start right away. And I only say 95% because there's no power in there. And we're going to have to add a washroom as soon as we get back. And we've decided to attach that directly to the garage. Okay, guys, that's a quick little update. And you'll probably get more of these as we get ready to fly. Enjoy your day. And don't forget, like. Later, Gators.